Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is your number one online political channel. This morning, I made a video which I was actually talking about Alfred Okengo Matiang'I is actually not needed in the united opposition. And in that video, I talked in particular about how Gachagua is actually treating Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And that video has actually attracted a lot of reactions online. And this has actually shocked me, how people love Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And from the messages which people have been sending to me, I really wanted to read some of the messages of my subscribers, which actually they said about Fred Okengo Matiang'I and Gachagua, because those messages, they are going to form the basis of our discussion. And let me start reading the message of at Aska Mecha 3252. This is one of my subscriber, and this is what she had to write. Nobody hates Matiang'I. You either love him, respect him, or fear him. Nothing between the lines. Nobody cares about which community he is coming from, so that you can give him your vote. Matiang'I is the only candidate that cuts through all ethnic groups, be it tribe or religion. Gachagua is out for revenge and he wants to control everything. Let Matiang'I play his mature and respective politics. By 2027, a lot can happen. Let them show him area so that he can stand on his own. So that's one of my subscribers who actually wrote that message from actually my area video. The video which I was actually explaining that Fred Okengo Matiang'I is not really needed in the united opposition. And the person who is fueling all that is Gachagua, because personally, Gachagua doesn't need Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Another subscriber wrote this by the name John Kikondu Q to M. You have called a spade a spade. So that is John Kikondu Q to M. And also there is this subscriber called at Richard Jep Cogrel 756. And this subscriber actually wrote this. Gachagua knows that Matiang'I as a president is not a pushover and that he will not control him. He needs Kalonzo, who he can manipulate. So those were the kind of messages which I received in my message section because of that video which I had analyzed earlier. And now I want to take you one by one so that I can analyze these three messages and why these subscribers have written those kind of messages. But before we dive in and try to dissect all that, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, then it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for those ones who are actually subscribed to this YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you. May God bless you all abundantly. And now, let us go back to the discussion about those subscribers, what they have written about Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Let me start by Askamecha 3252. Askamecha has actually explained what I have always been explaining, that Fred Okengo Matiang'I is actually liked by all, and he cuts across the nation. He cuts across tribal and ethnic boundaries. He cuts from region to region. He cuts from from one religion to another religion. That is what Fred Okengo Matiang'I is. So he is quite loved by many. Secondly, Fred Okengo Matiang'I is not going to be voted for because probably he's a kissy, but because of what he believes, because of what he has done. He is a performer. He is a no-nonsense person. That is actually what at Askamecha was trying to put across. For example, he is saying that nobody cares about which community he is from, so that you can give him your vote. That is Fred Okengo Matiang'I. Because he cuts across, nobody cares that Fred Okengo Matiang'I probably comes from the Gusii Nation. Nobody. But they are looking at Fred Okengo Matiang'I as a performer, as a man who is ready to be given work, as a man who wants to transform this nation for the betterment of all Kenyans. And it doesn't matter which tribe you are in, it doesn't matter which place you come from, but all Kenyans must be treated equally, and all Kenyans must actually get what they want. And that is the kind of work that Fred Okengo Matiang'I wants to do. And also, when I was trying to explain this morning that probably Rigathi Gachagua doesn't want Fred Okengo Matiang'I to be in the united opposition. And that is why whenever he is trying to mention about other leaders who he is going to work with, he always omits Fred Okengo Matiang'I. If you have been listening keenly, whenever Rigathi Gachagua tries to talk about those leaders who are within the united opposition. And there's also this thing which this lady called Askamecha 3252 said, that Matiang'I, that Gachagua is out of revenge and he wants to control everything. Let Matiang'I play mature and respective politics. And by 2027, also can happen. Let them show him area so that he can stand on his own. So this lady is trying to talk about Rigathi Gachagua. That Rigathi Gachagua is a kind of a man who wants to control everything. And that is why Rigathi feels that if Fred Okengo Matiang'I will be in the house of the united opposition, then he is not going to control everything, because Rigathi, Fred Okengo Matiang'I will be there to oppose him. So that is what my subscribers are actually telling me, why Rigathi doesn't want Fred Okengo Matiang'I to be in the united opposition. And also, there is this another person at Richard 75006. And he also said that Gachagua knows that Matiang'I as a president is not a pushover. So, because Rigathi Gachagua knows that if Matiang'I becomes a president within the united opposition, then he is not going to be manipulated very easy. because he is a person who knows what he wants to do. He is a person who knows what Kenyans need. And that is why he will make sure that the Kenyans will be able to get what they actually want. And that is why Rigathi Gachagua actually doesn't like Fred Okengo Matiang'I, and that is why he is there to revenge. Because as also you can remember, during the Uhuru era, when Fred Okengo Matiang'I was in government, he was a no-nonsense person. He could tell Rigathi the way things should be. And that is why Rigathi, it doesn't feel okay to be in the same group with Fred Okengo Matiang'I. So from this morning video, I have come to realize that very many Kenyans actually love Fred Okengo Matiang'I so much, and they care about Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And that is why they want Fred Okengo Matiang'I, even if he will be alone, they will still stand with Fred Okengo Matiang'I. And most of my subscribers, they feel that Fred Okengo Matiang'I should actually be the presidential candidate of the united opposition, because they believe that if he becomes a president, he cannot be manipulated very easily, because he understands what he has to do for the betterment of this nation. And I was also so much shocked because of those messages from the Kenyans. And this made me to realize that Kenyans have opened their eyes. They know what is good and they know what is bad. My fellow listeners, what do you have to say about Fred Okengo Matiang'I? Do you believe that Fred is the right person to be the presidential candidate in the united opposition? Please drop your comments in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, then it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And with that, I say thank you. May God bless you all abundantly until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.